everyone, and thanks for joining me. As a lot of you already know, I'm this year's Fellowship Sassoon Scholarship winner, which for those of you who haven't heard about the scholarship before, basically the scholarship offers you bespoke education, so education of your choice with the Sassoon Academy, which is like the finest education that you could ever ask for in hairdressing. So as part of the scholarship, I've been given the opportunity to receive online courses, as well as the opportunity to go down to London, where I can study at the academy for, I think it's like 2 weeks, basically to do the courses of my choice, which I'm super excited about. As well as all of that, the other amazing thing about this scholarship is that it's actually sponsored by Denman brush, which are offering me a bursary for my travel and accommodation, which is absolutely amazing itself. But as well as all of this, they've actually sent me over the most incredible hairdressing kit, which I'm super excited to share with you today. So yeah, I'm just going to do a brief little video haul. I'm going to try and do it brief, there's loads to get through. But yeah, I'm going to just try and do a little video haul of everything that they've sent me, just 'cause I'm super excited to show everybody. So yeah, here we go. Right, I'm going to start off with what I'd consider the classic Denman brush. I think it's a good place to start really, isn't it? So this is the Denman D3 brush. It's a multifunctional brush, so it's, you know, I think just generally if you just needed to brush through someone's hair really quickly, it's amazing for that. But also I actually recently discovered, which is quite embarrassing that I only recently discovered it, but this brush is actually incredible for people that have got curly hair, and it really is a great brush for giving it that smoothness. So yeah, you can, if you've got curly hair, you want to kind of get it nice and smooth with your blow dry, this brush would be actually incredible for you. I've also got a really similar brush, which I think it's the D38 paddle brush. So they do look quite similar, but obviously as you can see, this brush here, it's got a wider surface area. So it's a really good brush. Obviously a wider surface area means that you can get through the hair a lot quicker. So if you've got hair that tends to take ages to dry, then go for this brush here, because you're going to get through it so much quicker, which if you hate drying your hair like I do, it is like the perfect brush for you. So definitely, if you've got a lot of hair, go for this version. Curly hair, go for this one. Right, I'm going to be super confusing now, and I'm going to move on from the D38 to the D83. As you can see, they've both got a similar size surface area, so they've got a large surface area for that quicker blow drying. They've also got really similar handles, which is really comfortable to hold actually. It makes it easier to kind of get through the hair. The only difference, if I kind of hold it up quite closely, is you can sort of see with the bristles, these bristles are nylon, and you've also got like a little ball on the end, which makes it that little bit comfier. If you've got quite a lot of tangles there, it makes it easier to kind of glide through. Just kind of depends on the kind of hair that you've got really. I'd say this is better for curly hair, I'd say this is better for smoother hair. So that's the only difference between those two there. But again, smoothing, blow drying, it's absolutely perfect. On to the D90L brush, which is my absolute favourite brush in the world. It's a detangling brush, so it gets rid of any tough tangles, which is incredible in my hair. And I think that's why I love it so much, because I don't really like to use tools and equipment that I wouldn't like to use myself on my clients. Like I am really passionate about basically everything I use. I wouldn't use it if I didn't like it myself. Again, the big surface of the brush means that it's much quicker to blow dry, but the soft nylon bristles as well just make it so much easier to glide through the hair, which for anybody that is slightly head sore, it's absolutely amazing. So I definitely invest in the D90L brush. Move on from the paddle brushes to my collection of round brushes. I'm just going to go through them briefly because they're all together really, because they're all sort of the same brushes, they're just different sizes, some in order, just different sizes obviously to cater your different hair length needs. So they're all vented round brushes, and they're actually really good because they've got like, I don't know if you can see it, so you've got like a little clip here that you can use as like your sectioning clip, so you can sort of pull your sections as you go along which is really handy, much quicker than trying to grab your comb section in between, just to get that neat tidy section in, especially if you're doing a curly blow dry. I think your sectioning is so important. Obviously you can't do a curly blow dry with a flat brush, well I can't, so yeah, if I was doing a curly blow dry I would always go for a rounded brush, and these ones are absolutely amazing. They've got lovely bristles, they've got lovely soft bristles on them, and they're all vented so that the heat can sort of penetrate through quite easily. So these ones are absolutely lovely round brushes. I've also got a slightly different round brush, which I've already got one of these and I use it daily, which is this one here. As you can see, the shape's just ever so slightly different to one of these. One is more of an hourglass shape, which is really great if you're struggling to get quite close to the root. It kind of, having that sort of bevel in it, it helps get a little smidgen closer. So if you want to get loads of volume and loads of root lift, I'd definitely go for the hourglass shape, because I have actually got a bigger brush, the bigger version, which I do use in my hair every time I blow dry my hair. Not very often, but it is one of my go-to brushes, just because you can get that volume and you can get that closeness there. Again, vented brush, it penetrates the heat through quite easily, quite evenly. Really great hold on it, but this one hasn't got the sectioning option, which you have with these other ones here. So there's not loads of difference, but it's just slightly, really. If you're quite good at sectioning your hair anyway, freehand, then you know that's great. But if you're struggling and you want to get your blow drying a bit quicker, if you're struggling with time and stuff, then it's ideal that you've got that extra add-on there with your sectioning clip. So yeah, that's the round brushes that I've been gifted. And then I'm going to quickly move on to the finishing brushes, because I think that's a good place to finish with the brushes. So this is one of the brushes that I've used for years, but I'm going to open this one. I've got another one myself, which I love. It's the D82M finisher. As you can see, really super soft bristles there, which I personally love. What I tend to do is, if I've got somebody that's got flyaways, I'm trying to get a super sleek hair up, get that hair slicked back, I'll even like spray the brush with a bit of hairspray and then sort of pull it back into the hair, just to make sure that there's no flyaways, especially if you want to take photos of your hair, because I think like when you're taking photos and you've got good lighting, it picks up every single little flyaway frizzy bit. So these are absolutely amazing. I also use this on my extensions all the time, because I think it just kind of gives it that much softer, smoother finish. And I use these to blow dry. Sometimes I went on a course in Moroccan oil and they were using a finishing brush to blow dry, and it's actually a really good technique if you want to get a really super sleek, smooth blow dry. No, it's not what they're for, but there's no rules in hairdressing, and I personally love using a finishing brush for my blow dry, just to get it super glossy and sleek. So that's an incredible finisher, and it's just great if you've got extensions. So if you just want to sort of brush through it for the day, I use mine all the time. I've got one in my handbag, I've got one in my toolkit, hair on it. But yeah, great finishing brush. Moving on from the finishing brush, I also have these wonderful things. Anybody who ever has their hair cut with me knows that you're going to be absolutely covered in hair. So to finish the finish, I have got the Edge Tamer. I use this a lot for when I'm trying to do skin fades with hair. Generally because like these little pieces of hair kind of get everywhere and you can't see what you're doing. So I like to use this one when I'm doing my skin fades, just because I feel like it gets rid of all those untidy hairs and you've got a clear vision of what hairs come off and what hairs stuck on, really. I also use it to kind of get the hairs off the back of the neck, because you know the last thing a client's going to want having a great hairstyle is going to be covered in a hairy neck. It's actually really good for getting the hair off your neck. But if you haven't got one of these to hand, they've also given me one of these, which is basically to get the hair off the back of your neck. I'd say that this is a lot softer, so it's quite good for those little fine hairs. It kind of just brushes them away really quickly. I did try it the other day and it is incredible. So yeah, the Denman duster is a go-to if you're a messy hair cutter like me and tend to get hair all over the show. So yeah, two great tools for getting hair off the neck. As well as all the brushes, Denman have also given me a full combing kit, which I'm absolutely made up because I can never find one of these when I'm trying to get through my hair. I love a wide tooth comb for just getting through tangles really quickly. As well, these are actually really good if you're trying to like get that kind of loose kind of wave. You can just brush out your curls with one of these combs. It'll just give you that really lovely, loose, natural, beachy kind of finish. Really great combs. You've got a couple of pintail combs there, so you've got your plastic one, you've got your metal one. I quite like this length of the pin here. It's quite a sturdy pin, because sometimes you get them and they're not too grained. It's quite a good length as well, so if you've got quite a big section you can get through that quite quickly. So yeah, really good pintail comb on there. I love the colour. So yeah, I've also got a plastic one as well, which I find quite handy when you want to get a softer line, like if you're doing a hair up or something. Plastic ones are quite nice for sectioning. So yeah, colouring tends to go for the metal, plastic for hair ups, just softer sectioning really. I also got quite a few cutting combs to do here. This one is my absolute favourite. This is very similar to my YS Park comb, which I absolutely adore. I'm super excited to use this one as well because it's very similar. As you can see, it's got that sort of wide tooth there for really easy sectioning. But yeah, the feel of it is very similar to the YS Park, so I'm super excited to try that one out. I've not tried it out yet. But yeah, that's basically the complete comb kit that they've gifted me. What else have I got? Oh yeah, I'm going to finish off with the new balayage set. Anybody who knows me knows that colour is my absolute passion. I've got lots of balayage clients. I try and encourage a lot of my clients to go for balayage, especially if they're not too good like with the maintenance and the upkeep of their hair. I think balayage is absolutely incredible and I just love doing them, to be honest. You know, the results are amazing. So those of you who have not seen this set already, the Jack Howard set, and in the set it contains, so you've got your balayage board, so you've got the rougher side and you've got the smoother side as well. So obviously when you're trying to really push it into the hair, the rougher side's probably a little bit better, to be honest. I don't often use balayage board, but I've found a new technique with foliage, which I'm super excited, so I'm kind of glad that I've got a board to try out that technique. But I love these brushes. So they've given you mixing brush, and they've also given you 3 balayage brushes. So you've got 3 different sizes, obviously different sections, different blending sizes, all super soft brushes. I think it's important to have a soft brush when you're balayaging, because I think when you've got like a tougher, more of a firmer kind of bristle brush, kind of like the mixing one actually. So when you've got a firmer bristle, it's great, I think, if you've got a lot of greys to cover, if you're really trying to push that colour into the hair. I think a firmer bristle is amazing, but with a balayage technique you really need a soft bristle brush, and these ones are just the softest, greatest brushes for that. So I'm super excited to try these. I've used my brushes for years, very similar in texture. So yeah, I've got a lot of high hopes for these brushes and the balayage, so I can't wait to use those not next week, the week after, when we're back in the salon. So yeah, really excited about this balayage kit. Yeah, so that's basically it. I think that's pretty much covered the whole toolkit that I received. Just giving you a little bit of an insight into how I would personally use the kit. Hopefully you've benefited from it. You might have had some ideas, you might have seen something that you've been thinking about buying but not quite sure how you'd benefit from it. Also, if you've got any tips, if you'd use something differently, please share. But yeah, for now, thanks for joining me.